Hello Internet, my name is Lave and I watched Sicario 2 Soldado, or as it's known in the US, Sicario 2 Day of the Soldado, which is the surprise sequel to the awesome Sicario, which I have reviewed. It was like the 8th video that I ever made on my YouTube channel, so feel free to go and check that out. Unfortunately, Denis Villeneuve isn't back in the director's chair, nor is Roger Deakins back as cinematographer, and Emily Blunt hasn't reprised her role from the first one. However, they have got a decent director in Stefano Sollima, who directed some of the TV series of Gomorrah, and Taylor Sheridan is back as the writer, so more than enough reason to have some hope for this. Another reason to be excited for is that Josh Brolin is back as the croc-wearing shady government agent Matt Graver, and with the Mexican Cartel stepping up their operations, he's given the green light by the Secretary of Defense to go and stir things up, so he hires the mysterious hitman or Sicario Alejandro, once again played by Benicio del Toro. So let's start with the two leading men. Both Brolin and del Toro are fantastic in this, like they were in the first one, which did such a fantastic job of introducing us to these characters through the eyes of Emily Blunt. A huge part of it was the mystery surrounding who they were, where their moral compasses are pointing, but they don't have that in this one. So instead, it just takes us deeper into their world and we see how they operate, which is really cool. Even though they've been given the green light by the Secretary of Defense, they're still very much a black ops team. They don't necessarily do things by the book. The gist of the story this time is not about drug smuggling, it's about the cartels trafficking humans and terrorists across the US border. So their mission is to start a war between the cartels to get them to destroy themselves. There's also a couple of other subplots at play which involve some kid actors, one of whom I thought was fantastic. I thought she did a really good job. She's on the Mexican side of the border, and then you've got a boy on the American side of the border who goes between the two. He's fine, he's serviceable, but this film is definitely taking a more direct approach to its story. I want to say that it lacks the finesse of the first one. It isn't that tension and suspension building that the first one was so good at. This one is more action drama based, which is fine. The action and shootout scenes are choreographed and shot very well. It's all very exciting, and Josh Brolin does have a really good line at one point when he's with his team and he's trying to get back to the US border, and he rings ahead and says, "Clear the border, I don't want any shit this time around." I thought that was a nice nod to the first one and is an intention of what this film is. It is more action based. And I've got to say that I was really enjoying the first and second act of this film. I enjoyed the setup, I enjoyed where the story was going, I enjoyed the acting, the cinematography, alright, not quite at Roger Deakins level, but it was a good imitation. The sound design is also very good. That makes a return later on in the film. It was all going extremely well to the point where I was saying this is a very, very solid sequel. But then something happens which just completely took the wind out of my sails and just deflated me. And I was like, I can't believe they did that. I can't get into details because of spoilers, which is very frustrating, but it just really annoyed me at just how Hollywood they went with the ending. It felt like a bit of a cop-out. So that's my thoughts on Sicario 2, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. Like I say, the first hour and a half of this film is worth going to the cinema to see. It is a worthy sequel to the original in that respect, but it's just the ending that undermined it for me. Everything else about the film was exciting, it's exhilarating, the acting is good, and the potential for the ending, oh man, it could have been amazing. I do wonder if the studio execs got involved and maybe changed Taylor Sheridan's script. I'm completely speculating on that, but I feel that strongly about it that I'm probably going to do a spoiler talk video for this. So keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, thanks very much for watching this review. As always, if you can give this video a like, and don't forget to share the lay. Adios. Subscribe.